love wrestling! Welcome to the W.I.L.L.I.W show. W.I.L.L.I.W stands for Wrestling is Life, Life is Wrestling. This is episode 3. Thank you for supporting my first 2 episodes. I'm excited to be here. It says I love wrestling right on my arm, so you know it's true. And let's see what we gotta talk about today. Okay, last night I attempted to watch Smackdown. I have to say, I was happy finally there was a decent match compared to Raw where I didn't feel there was any. The Usos versus American Alpha, I felt they did a pretty good job. I'm glad they took the tag team championships off of American Alpha. In my mind, they just gave them the push too soon. They should have beat them down as underdogs, and then gave them the belts. I feel it's better for them if they're chasing the titles. I felt like their impact on the main roster hasn't been quite as good as what I've seen from them in NXT. But to me, the segment that stole the show would be The Miz and Maurice portraying or pretending to be John Cena and Nikki Bella. To me, that was the best thing of the night. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I thought it was really well done and pretty funny. And I did not watch Talking Smack yet, although sometimes that is even better than the actual show, so I can't really talk about that. I also want to talk about good old JR, Jim Ross. His wife is in critical condition in the hospital. My prayers are with you, JR. I hope she pulls through and everything works out for you and your family. I'm sad to hear this news. I also want to say I heard about Jim Cornette will be inducting the Rock and Roll Express into the Hall of Fame. Now, he has been, in the last few years, not really had much good to say about the WWE, but I just feel like his respect for the Rock and Roll Express is something where he just can't turn down the opportunity. He has to do it. I hope he throws in a few subliminal shots there, or some jabs, respectfully, like kind of like a thing where he's telling the current roster, there's no way you can do it like these guys, you need to start watching their tapes, something like that. I just expect it to be a really good induction speech. Now, what else is on my mind today? Oh yes, thank you for everybody who like, comment, and subscribe. Mark Caliber, to answer your question, do I play any WWE games? Well, I guess not WWE, but back in the day I used to play WCW NWO World Tour, and then I had WWE 13, and I played that a bit, and then Xbox recently, because I'm an Xbox Live subscriber, they gave me WWE 2K16 for free. I played that for a bit, but then my cameraman, who it is his Xbox, he needed more storage space on the Xbox, so we deleted it, but I did enjoy it for the few days that I did play it. So not currently playing any right now, but I have in the past. I also want to talk about the news. I heard beautiful Beaa is getting 2 tryout matches for Alpha-1. Now, I love Beaa. Her energy, it resembles mine. We both have the same outlook. We both love wrestling. We both just love being out there in front of the crowd and the kids. And I'm just happy for her and her opportunity. I know she will knock it out of the park and they will be impressed with what she has to offer. And it also seems to be kind of the start of like a working relationship with Alpha-1 and PWA, as Ethan Page and Josh Alexander will be wrestling for PWA coming up here. And I think it's just a good thing for Ontario, for it's good business, help each other promote the shows, everybody makes good money. It's a good look. I also know that the Lucha Fed, I believe it's Lucha TO, and Death Proof have been doing a few joint shows together. This is a trend I want to see continue. I love when Ontario works together. There's been some things like Crossbody and PWA did some things together where they are both like helping promote each other, and that worked out well for them, and now they're both doing really well at their own things. I know PWA and MCW did a few things together, although after last weekend, I'm not sure if that's going to continue after the whole invasion thing. I just think that it's something we should be continuing to do, and I also want to shout out the Facebook page Ontario Indie Wrestling, as that's where I get all my information from, like the lineup. Tomorrow I'll be doing a show running down the weekend events, and I just go to them. They have everything, and it's just helping promote everything in Ontario. And as you could tell, I love wrestling, but I especially have my heart in Ontario wrestling. That's where it is for me. I feel like I'm happy just to be a little small, tiny part of it. Now, I also want to say, in my last episode, episode 2, I did a top 10 list of Ontario indie wrestlers that impressed me with their social media presence. Now, number 10 was a guy, Zakk Atticus, however you want to say it or call it. Now, I go back with this guy, I probably wrestled him like 14 or 15 years ago. I've always got along with him. I seen him in Canada Day wrestling show. We were happy to see each other. I've never had a bad problem with him or anything. but I do have to speak on this. I want this show to be positive, but I feel like whenever there's something I need to talk about, I just need to do it, get it out of the way, and that's the way the show's got to be. It's got to be completely honest, or it's not worth doing. Now, I named Zakk number 10 in my list of top 10 wrestlers on social media, so I thought, hey, that's a good idea. And then I also noticed that he was posting his shows to that Ontario Indie Wrestling page, and I thought, that's a great idea. So I did. I stole his idea. I was like, hey, I gotta bite this, because I only have a couple followers on Facebook, like 200-300, and there's like thousands of people on there. So I thought, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll get some more eyes on my YouTube show here. So I stole his idea. I did. And so I thought, hey, what better time? I promoted him yesterday. I should check out his show. And it just so happened that his show yesterday, he had this big rant in the write-up about the show, saying, oh, like, there's this guy, Ontario Wrestling Jesus or something he was referring to him as, and he had beef with him because he's Bush Leagued him and blackballed him or something like that. And so I was excited to hear where this was going to go. Like, it got me really interested. But I hate to say it, to me, Zakk, it just felt like clickbait, man. When I clicked on the show, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but you wouldn't say who you were talking about, and I can't figure it out. I mean, there's a couple names that I think it might be, but just, to me, if you got a problem with someone, whether you're right or wrong, everybody has their own opinions and the way they feel, and as long as you truly feel that way, you just got to call the person out. Who cares if there's backlash about it? You can't just beat around the bush. I would like you just to step up, be more of a man that way, call it out, and same way you keep talking about your ex-wife. I have no idea who this is, and I just feel bad for your co-host. It feels like he's like kind of handcuffed on the show. It's like you rant and rave to him before the show starts, but then tell him how you're feeling, but then he's not allowed to actually talk about the things that you actually want to talk about on the show. And I just felt like, yeah, like I said, it was clickbait. I do enjoy a lot of the things about the show, though, so I'm not completely burying you here. I just want to say sorry, man, but if you're going to have a problem with someone, just step out and say it. That's what's going to be different about my show. I may be right or wrong. If I feel a certain way about someone, maybe it doesn't express how I feel about them in entire life or personally, but if I have like one little thing to say about someone, I'm just going to say it and we'll move on, because I love wrestling and we need to talk about everything on here. So I just want to say, check out his show. I mean, I hope this will influence him to maybe step up his game a little bit more and everything. And I hope everybody likes my show. Please tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it, what I can do better. I want to do this for Ontario. I want to do this for all the wrestling fans who love wrestling as much as I love wrestling. And I also want to say, make sure you like or you will get a leg drop. Make sure you comment or you will get a clothesline. And make sure you subscribe or you will get a suplex. This is Elian Habanero, The W.I.L.L.I.W Show, Episode 3. I love wrestling, Cuba!